Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, a model launched in 2022 that brought over some of the best ideas and innovations of the 2019 Ultra Deep prototype. That 2019 prototype, 28 millimeters thick and water resistant to over 15,000 meters, may have been overkill. This one, 6,000 meters rated and 18.1 millimeters thick in Omega-Steel, is more wearable but still fearsomely spec'd. So it is 18.1 thick. The crystal by itself is 5.2 millimeters thick, 51.5 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It is a 45.5 millimeter diameter watch, and it has a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and I would say, given that the style, to the extent that it is styled, is designed to be oversized, I don't think this is actually a bad fit for me. Now, it's definitely large. It's a hulking presence, but it's going to be that on any wrist. The further away from my wrist and my arm that we are, the better it appears to wear. So if your wrist is my size and you're comfortable with wearing a diving bell on your wrist, it's actually gonna fit and sit just fine. But keep in mind that if you want it to look proportional, then you probably need a wrist of at least 18 centimeters circumference. But as a diving instrument, there's no reason this wouldn't sit secure and wear well on a wrist of my size, 16 centimeters, and then of course up. The strap's a lovely piece. Of course, this is the steel version. The titanium version is offered, but keep in mind it has fixed metal loop-style lugs that require a specific type of strap and rule out the use of a bracelet. This model in steel is featured with a strap, but it can be fit optionally with the Omega bracelet should you ever wish to. Now, the strap features some handsome nuances, a little bit of a brushed or sort of striated center. Then we have like a honeycomb style texture outboard. It conforms to the case on both sides. It mates cleanly. Rubber in both black and blue for contrast. On the underside, you can see there's a little bit of a texture. And then we have oversized perforations, because we have a large pin buckle in this buckle featuring a combination of polish and satin, made of stainless steel like the watch, about that steel. Omega calls this Omega Steel, and yes, it's true, that's a brand name, but there's a substance behind the sizzle. So, the stake to match the sizzle is that this is a nickel-free, highly anti-corrosive alloy. So while there is Rolex 904L steel, which achieves superb anti-corrosive properties, not everyone gets along with that nickel content in the steel. This has the same quality of not needing a rinse after exposure to sweat or sea salt, but it doesn't have the nickel, so it won't agitate if you have that particular allergy. Also, unlike 904L or 316L steel, this is harder than conventional steels, somewhere between 40 and 50%, so it should prove more scratch resistant. Now we have a combination of satin polish with the lyre style lugs. We know them well from Seamasters and Speedmasters since the early 60s, inward and outward bevels. Crown includes both media blast and polish. It is a screw down, and that should go without saying. The bezel knurling is sharp and easy to grip. 120 clicks with a very positive and mechanical feel. You can place it precisely, line up the bezel pearl with the minute hand for a 0 to 60 minute count-up timer. We have a ceramic bezel insert that's actually fused to inlays of metal, so they become one piece. And we'll do a loom shot, where you can see that the minute hand and the bezel pearl are different colors from the rest of the dial, so that you can read them relative to each other at a glance and quickly. I always find a dive bezel handier than a chronograph. And you have a running seconds hand that is fully luminescent, so even in the dark, you know your backup dive timer is running. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the functions you get here, because this is one of Omega's twin barrel movements. It's got the 60-hour power reserve, and it's got the independently movable time zone style hour hand where you can easily move it around and jump time zones as you travel. Pull it out to a stop, and now you halt the seconds hand. Hacking is activated, and you could set it to a reference time. You could see we have applique numerals, and hour indices on a dial, along with broad arrow style hour and minute hands. The dial is a lovely gradient lacquer, so from blue to black at the edge, almost like you're diving down from the surface into the depths. We have a few cyan accents, or close to cyan accents, on the second hand, the Seamaster logo in the ultra deep notation. And I realize we're taking some liberties with our conversion factors there, but we're just going to press the I believe button. On the case back, it's actually made of grade 5 titanium, and this is described as a sonar form. So I guess it's a visualization of sonar waves. We also have the seahorse or hippocampus, a long-time signature of the water-resistant Seamaster watches. This one going back to an old-school Omega claim from the original Seamaster 600 Ploprof of the 1970s. It didn't have a helium escape valve, rather the premise of being a saturation dive compatible watch was that it was so hermetically tight helium couldn't intrude, therefore no egress need be provided. And that is the premise here. The idea is that helium can't get into the watch during saturation diving, so you don't need a release valve. Of course, there's a lot of advertising on this case back, and Omega, in good taste, has kept most of this verbiage on the reverse of the watch. You can see that it is a professional Planet Ocean for saturation diving coaxial master chronometer, and we may as well talk about that master chronometer movement. It is the 8912 automatic 60 hours, stop seconds, independently mobile hour hand, 39 joules, beats at 25,200 vibrations per hour. It has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for shock resistance and a highly anti-magnetic balance staff, balance wheel, escapement, and silicone hairspring, so it is effectively amagnetic to over 15,000 Gauss or 1.5 Tesla. This is a twin barrel movement, so it has a nice flat, consistent torque curve for isochronous operation throughout the power reserve of the watch. It has a coaxial escapement, as devised by the British watchmaker George Daniels, industrialized by Omega in 1999, and perfected ever since. It improves power reserve, reduces maintenance requirements, and improves chronometry. As a master chronometer, this movement has been through the COSC standards, but then as a fully assembled watch, it is a master chronometer. Tested in 6 positions for chronometry, but also for power reserve, winding efficiency, water resistance, durability, anti-magnetism. It's actually tested to that 15,000 plus Gauss claim. And it is an ISO 6425 2018 compliant diver, which means the latest version. And of course, with the ISO 6425, every individual watch thus rated needs to be tested to 125% of the claimed depth. So you can see it says 6,000 meters. Well, it would have been tested to 7,500 meters individually before it left the factory. That's what it means to be an ISO certified dive watch. So there is a lot going on with this watch. Very sophisticated in every way. It's big, but then again, it is a large diving instrument first and foremost. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.